Hey there, Genesis International College carpentry students. Welcome to our breakdown of Topic 1, Plan and Prepare. Now, I know it is super easy to look at preparation as just, well, boring paperwork that's standing between you and the actual timber, but let's completely reframe that for a second. Preparation, it's the invisible foundation of your entire build. Literally, before a single saw is even fired up, your planning dictates whether those stairs are going to stand strong for decades or fail at the very first hurdle.
Okay, let's dive into this. As future site carpenters, you need to know this stuff inside out. This explainer is your official guide to mastering the prep phase of the CPCCCA3016 unit. We're going to break down exactly how you smoothly transition from staring at a drawing board to standing on a fully prepped worksite. So, here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at decoding your project instructions, then legal and safety standards. After that, surveying the worksite, and finally, getting your essential tools and materials together. Because before a single piece of timber gets cut, you've got to move from knowing the rules to actually grabbing your gear. All right, Section 1, Decoding your project instructions. It all kicks off with the job brief. This is literally your primary guide for the whole scope of work. You've got your task description, the property address, and the specific site location, so you know exactly where in the yard you're actually building. You've got your deadlines, the required stair type, and crucially, your finished floor levels, or FFL. The FFL tells you the exact height the top of your stairs has to reach, so it perfectly matches the house floor or the deck. And, of course, it gives you the client or supervisor contacts, because knowing exactly what you're building, where it's going, and who to call if things go sideways, that is just non-negotiable. Now, while the job brief tells you the where and when, your technical specifications, they give you the precise how and what. Specs give you the written details for materials and quality standards that you just can't see on a simple drawing. For example, your specs will call out the exact timber species and grade, like an F7H3 treated pine, which is rated specifically to handle the outdoors. They'll also spell out the timber dimensions, the required structural fixings, and any non-slip requirements for your treads. Look, if you don't match these specs perfectly, your stairs might look amazing on day 1, but they're going to rot away by year 3. Moving right along to Section 2, Legal and Safety Standards. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how incredibly easy it is for new carpenters to confuse these two essential documents. The National Construction Code, or the NCC, is your main driver for dimensions and safety outcomes. It's all about what is legally required to stop people from tripping or taking a nasty fall. On the flip side, the Australian standards give you the structural how-to for the timber framing itself. So think of the NCC as your safety goals and the Australian standards as the structural recipe to actually achieve them. Let's actually walk through these specific NCC safety metrics. To guarantee a safe pitch, the slope relationship formula, which is 2 times the riser plus the going, has to land somewhere between 550 and 700. Your risers per flight, those need to be between 2 and 18. And to stop small children from slipping through the side, baluster and infill gaps cannot let a 125mm sphere pass through. Finally, your handrail height has to sit right between 865 and 1,000mm. Memorizing these precise numbers is absolutely crucial. It's what keeps your future clients safe every single time they walk up those steps. Okay, Section 3, Surveying the Worksite. Let's step out of the office and into the physical environment. Before you even think about swinging a hammer, you've got to understand workplace health and safety. Under Australian law, every single site carpenter has what's called a duty of care. This is a strict legal requirement to take reasonable care of your own health and safety and to make sure your actions don't end up hurting anyone else on the worksite. You are empowered to take ownership of site safety here. That means spotting physical hazards, tracking down hidden utility services, and following your project's safety plan to the letter. And your duty of care doesn't just stop at people, it extends to the land itself. Under Environmental Protection Authority rules, you have to strictly manage building hazards. When you're knocking together outdoor stairs, your biggest environmental headaches are fine sawdust and chemical spills from glues or sealers. Because trust me, nobody wants an EPA fine just because chemical runoff made its way into the local creek. Protecting waterways from site runoff is a strict legal mandate, guys, not a gentle suggestion. It's just part of being a true professional. All right, let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds. Essential tools and materials. Let's open up that virtual toolbox. The absolute first step in construction is grabbing the right tools for each part of the build. Here, we've got the framing square. This is your go-to for precision measuring and marking out those perfect 90-degree angles. We all know the golden rule, right? Measure twice, cut once. Well, the framing square is the tool that ensures you don't end up measuring 3 times and still needing a tub of wood putty to fix your joints. Next up, you're going to pair that framing square with these 2 handheld lifesavers, the spirit level and the tape measure. These are your main tools for guaranteeing that all those strict NCC dimensions we just talked about actually happen on site. The tape measure locks in your exact lengths, while the spirit level makes sure your posts are perfectly plumb and your treads are perfectly level, which is super important to avoid any annoying pools of water rain. Now for the heavy-duty power tools. The drop saw, or miter saw, is an absolute beast for making repetitive, identical cuts. It makes sure your stair treads and hamroll components are cut perfectly square for a really tight, weather-resistant fit. Then you've got the impact driver. You're going to rely on this constantly to sink heavy-duty structural screws, or big batten screws, right through your stringers and deep into the ledger or support posts to secure the whole frame. To round out the whole shebang, we have our essential hand fasteners. A solid claw hammer and a comprehensive socket wrench set completely finish off your setup. While your power tools are doing the heavy lifting, these hand tools are totally essential for the tactile final adjustments. Sometimes you just need that physical feel when you're tightening down heavy bolts. Finally, let's talk about the materials you're actually going to be hitting with all those tools. Managing durable materials is a process. Step 1. Locate the relevant section in your project docs. You're looking for something like timber trades or external works. Step 2. Identify all the specific requirements. You need to spot those exact H treatment levels, like H3 for outdoor exposure, and check the corrosion protection ratings for your fasteners to make sure you're using hot-dipped galvanized or stainless steel hardware. Using the proper outdoor-rated timber and hardware isn't just checking a box on the specs, it's about making sure your work actually survives the harsh outdoor elements. So, there you have it. Preparation is absolutely everything. Your job brief is decoded, your NCC metrics are totally locked in, your site is safe, and your materials are staged and ready to go. So the only question left for you is, are you prepared to make the first cut?